Hello everyone, I'm Lalita Singh and you are going to study science with me in class 7. Today we are discussing our first chapter that is called Nutrition in Plant. In this chapter, you will learn about nutrition, mode of nutrition, autotrophic mode of nutrition in plant like photosynthesis and heterotrophic mode of nutrition in plant as well. So, nutrition, what does the word mean? Nutrition means taking the food in. Okay, the process of taking in food and its utilization by the body or by the organism is called nutrition. Now, the question arises how the plants are getting their nutrition. Obviously, we have learned about it from the earlier time that the plant perform the process of photosynthesis to prepare the food. Okay, why the organism is in need of food and why we are in need of food? Because food provides us with energy. It is the food that get broken down in each cell of the body to produce energy. So we need food. Understood? And even if we are in need of food, we are getting it from plant, and plant is performing photosynthesis to provide us food. Food is a complex organic matter, understood, which is having carbohydrate, protein, fats, vitamin, minerals in it. Understood. Now the thing is how this nutrition is going on inside the plant. How plant perform nutrition. Basically the process Basically, the living organism exhibit two type of nutrition. One is named as autotrophic, whereas the second one is known as heterotrophic. Now, in case of plant, the autotrophic mode of nutrition is very common. Why? Because they can perform photosynthesis. Now, break the term autotrophic nutrition. Okay, break the term autotrophic. You can find there is an auto means self and trophs means nourishment. Okay, together autotrophs make self nourishment. The mode of nutrition in which organisms make their own food from simple substances is called autotrophic nutrition. Okay, the mode of nutrition in which organisms make their own food from simple substances is known as autotrophic mode of nutrition, and those organisms who is performing autotrophic mode of nutrition are called autotroph. Some bacteria on and all green plants are autotroph. So they are basically producing the food because they can synthesize the food from the simpler substances. So they are preparing the food. The plants are preparing the food. They are not only preparing the food for themselves but even for us. Just think about what did you eat in the morning, from morning up to now. What did you eat? Okay, whatever we have eaten, we have been getting it from the plant. Even if you are considering a tiger which is living in the forest, they feed on the herbivores and herbivores feed on the plants. So directly or indirectly, for all the living organism, it is the plant which produces food. As it is producing the food, it is called producer. Understood? Now heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Now break the term heterotrophic as well. Hetero plus trophic. Now see the meaning of hetero. Hetero means other, whereas trophs matlab nutrition or nourishment. It means a type of nutrition in which the organism depend upon other organism for the food. The mode of nutrition in which the organism take their food from other plant or animal is called heterotrophic mode of nutrition, and those animal which are taking the food from other animal or plant matter are called heterotrophs. If we are thinking about what should we name them, they are termed as consumer. Why? Because they are taking the food, they are consuming the food synthesized by the plant. That is why they are called consumer. Now, autotrophic mode of nourishment is basically done by the process of photosynthesis. Now, break the term again. The photosynthesis, photo means light and synthesis means to make. So, photosynthesis is a process by which the plant make their food in presence of light. Green plant are usually have a color pigment, green color pigment, which is known as chlorophyll. This chlorophyll is very essential for trapping the sunlight. Okay, this chlorophyll is very essential for trapping the sunlight. So the green plant trap the sunlight, convert it into chemical energy for all the living being. Understand? Green plant use energy from sun to make the food, and this food is provided to all the living organism. Now, what do the plant need to perform photosynthesis? They need these raw material. The first one is chlorophyll, the second one is sunlight, third one is carbon dioxide and water. Now first we will talk about chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is a green color pigment found inside the chloroplast. It traps solar energy and changes it into chemical energy. During photosynthesis, this is stored in the glucose molecule. Now see over here. These are the green shells. They are green cells. Why? Because they are having chlorophyll. And this is the leaf. If we are cutting the leaf in such a way, okay, if we are cutting the leaf in such a way, we will have this structure, because this is the TS of leaf. Okay, now we will look at the individual cell over here. See, this is the individual cell, in which the pinkish part is nucleus and the greenish part is chloroplast, in which the chlorophyll is present, and the central bigger part is vacuole. Okay, now see over here the structure of one chloroplast. This is how the chloroplast look like. It is having lots of stacked coin-like structure. Okay, these stacked coin-like structure is known as granum. It is known as granum. On each granums are made up of disc-like structure. This disc-like structure is known as thylakoid. Okay, when this disc-like structure gets stacked together, it forms the granum. And now if we are putting a thylakoid outside, we will see that there are plenty granules are sprinkled over there. These granules are chlorophyll. Okay, so chlorophyll is present in the leaf, in every cell of the leaf. Okay, inside the chloroplast, the chlorophyll is present inside the chloroplast, which is present in the cell. Cell is present in the leaf. Understood? In this way, it gives the leaf the peculiar green color. Understood? Now next is sunlight. When sunlight fall on chlorophyll molecule, its energy is absorbed by these molecules. Okay, it is the chlorophyll molecule which can absorb the solar energy or energy of sun. This energy is used by the chlorophyll to make glucose out of carbon dioxide and water. Clear? Now next is carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is present in the atmosphere, which is taken up by the stomata of the leaf. Okay, every part of the plant receive their own oxygen by different means. Clear? The air enter or leave the leaf with the help of stomata. Stomata are present basically on the below side of the leaf. Maximum stomata are present on the below surface of the leaf. Why? Because to prevent evaporation or to reduce evaporation. Just think about if the stomata would have been present on the surface more, what could happen? All the water that is absorbed by root may be evaporated into the atmosphere with these stomata. It means plant would have been always in need of water. Clear? Now next is water. Water is absorbed by the root of the plant basically with the help of root hairs. Okay, root hairs are the extended part of the root which absorb the water and transport it from the root to the leafy part of the plant with the help of xylem. Actually, plant is having a chain of xylem cell which is connecting the whole plant together. From root to tip of the leaf we are having xylem. If you do not trust, just look at this picture. This circular structure is actually the midrib of the leaf. Have you seen it properly? This is the leaf. The midrib, the veins and veinlet, actually these are extension of xylem found in the leaf which support the leaf as well. Understood? These xylem vessels transport the water from the root to the leaf. Okay, in the midrib area you can see over here the inner circular red structure are xylem and phloem, which is spreaded in the whole leaf with the help of vein and veinlet. Clear? So that every cell of the leaf can have enough supply of water. Green plant use the raw material to make the food in the form of glucose. Plants can only prepare glucose by the process of photosynthesis. They cannot prepare protein or fats. They only prepare glucose by the process of photosynthesis. Okay. That's the process by which green plant make their food from carbon dioxide, water by using solar energy in the presence of chlorophyll. Okay, is called photosynthesis. In this process, oxygen gas is evolved. Okay, the process by which the green plant make their own food by using carbon dioxide and water in presence of sunlight and chlorophyll is known as photosynthesis. See over here, the reaction is written carbon dioxide plus water is equal to glucose plus oxygen. This is the chemical reaction for photosynthesis. Now see, the next one is green leaf, the food factory of the plant. We know that green leaves in presence of sunlight take carbon dioxide from the environment and water from the soil and they perform photosynthesis. But we are considering leaf as a food factory, means most important part of the plant which is making a good amount of food for the plant. Okay, photosynthesis occur in only green part of the plant. It can be leaf, it can be stem. Does not matter what it is. If it is green, it is carrying chlorophyll and they will perform photosynthesis. But the structure of leaf are having several quality which support the process of photosynthesis very well. For example, the first point, the leaves are flattened to have a large surface area which obtain maximum sunlight. In any of the plant, if you will see clearly, the leaf are the only area which is having, the leaf are the only part of the plant which is very much flattened to have large surface area so that they can absorb maximum sunlight. Now next is, they are thin. See over here. We are having some plants leaf over here. These leaves are kind of very thin, and because of thinness, the sunlight when fall on the leaves, it can reach to every cell of the leaf because the leaves are very thin. You can see we are also having transverse section of the leaf. Now next is, the leaves are having large air space between the cell. See over here, can you see the air space is found between the cell? So leaves are having large spaces of air between the cell which allow the carbon dioxide to enter into the cell, enter into this leafy structure. Understood? Inside the leaf. Now next is, leaves have a network of xylem vessels that run through their vein. This is the midrib of the leaf. See, this is the midrib which is containing xylem, which is now divided into several branches. Midrib has been divided into several long branches. This is called vein. And after that, the vein is also divided into several small branches. This is called veinlet. So leaves are having extensive network of a xylem vessel that run throughout the leaf. They supply water to every cell to perform photosynthesis. Now leaves are having stomata. See over here. The stomata is present on the lower surface of the leaf. Leaf is having stomata through which carbon dioxide can enter inside the leaf. After entering, because of the air spaces, they will be stored over here until they are used. Understood? Now next is functioning of stomata. How they get open, how they get closed. See over here. This is a closed stomata. Each stomata is guarded by two kidney-shaped cells. You can see these are the guard cells. Which are guard cells? Over here it is marked. These two kidney-shaped cells are known as guard cells because they are guarding the opening and closing of stomata. At the time of photosynthesis, when stomata open by swelling of these guard cells. Okay, during photosynthesis, these stomata get open. Why? Because of the swelling. Swelling is done by the absorption of water from the nearby cells. Okay, so when the water enter into these guard cells, okay, when the water enter into these guard cells, they get swelled. Okay, they become turgid, and because of the turgidity, they last this layer of the guard cell. Okay, this layer, backside layer of the guard cell swelled up and it started to bulge out, and because of the bulging structure, what happened? This type of opening get created. In this way, the guard cell become open and let the carbon dioxide enter inside the leaf, and it also release oxygen or water vapor that is formed during photosynthesis. Now, as we know that because of the swelling or because of the turgidity, this guard cell open the stomata. So again, to close down the stomata, they need to lose water, they need to shrink again, and because of the shrinking condition, they will return into this closed condition of the stomata. This happen during night time. Stomata does not get open all the time. It is open during daytime, but at night time it get closed. Understood? Now next is synthesis of other nutrient from glucose. You can see the leaves are having so many stomata. This is the surface of the leaf, and this is the microscopical view of the leaf having lots of stomata. Some of them are open, some of them are closed. When the stomata open, it take in carbon dioxide, and when it is open, it leave out water and oxygen molecule. See, all the labeling is given. The dot, green dot which is present in this guard cells are actually chloroplast. The bigger one structure which is present, the bluish one, is vacuole, whereas the pinkish one is nucleus. Okay. Next is synthesis of other nutrient from glucose. Okay, we know that during photosynthesis, plant can only synthesize glucose and oxygen. It does not synthesize other nutrient with the help of photosynthesis. By the process of photosynthesis, only glucose can be synthesized. Okay, later on this glucose is turned into different nutrient material. For example, complex carbohydrates such as sucrose and starch are synthesized from the simple carbohydrate. You can see in over here, glucose is getting converted into starch and sucrose. Okay, in which starch can again get converted into glucose. Sucrose is basically synthesized food which is transferred from the one portion of the plant to the other one. For example, leaves are synthesizing producing glucose by the process of photosynthesis. This glucose is turned into sucrose, and later on they are transferred to the various part like root, which is a non-green part of the plant, so that the living cell can get energy. So sucrose is transported from the leaf to different part of the plant through phloem tube for immediate use. Starch is stored as a food in different part of the plant. For example, you may have seen potatoes. Potatoes are the underground stem in which the starch is stored. Okay, in this way, other plants are over there as well which can store the starch. Now protein are made by glucose, but by after by adding nitrogen. Understood. Proteins are also made by simple carbohydrate and nitrogen. Fats are formed by simple carbohydrate. Now, to understand more about photosynthesis, let's perform an activity that is called activity number 1. This activity is about to demonstrate the starch is formed during photosynthesis. For this, we need 2 potted plant, a beaker, a test tube, water, and a burner, a dropper, alcohol iodine solution, and a glass plate. Now see over here, in this activity we have taken 2 green color healthy potted plant, or you can take one healthy potted plant as well. Okay, but if you are only taking one potted plant, then you have to wrap the leaf of the plant for 2 or 3 days with the help of aluminium foil. Okay, you will wrap up the leaf for 3 to 4 days with the help of aluminium foil, and then you can also conduct this activity. Okay, let's see. See, this is a plant which is planted on the land. So I have wrapped the aluminium foil on the leaf for 3 to 5 days. Okay, 3 to 4 days. Then over here the normal leaves are present. Now we will cut these leaves out from the plant. This is the normal leaf and this is the wrapped up leaf. Okay, now in the next step, what we will do, we will put these leaves into boiled water for few minutes. Okay, this will destroy the enzyme present in the leaf, which may interfere with the experiment, and it also will kill the cell of the leaf. Now later on we will provide water bath to it. The water bath means the bigger beaker is having water. Inside that water we are having a smaller beaker which is containing ethyl alcohol. In this ethyl alcohol we are going to dip the leaf. Okay, then we will heat this water up. After boiling, we will extract the leaf from the inner beaker. We are not directly heating the leaf in the ethyl alcohol. Why? Because ethyl alcohol catches fire very easily. Now after boiling, the leaf will look like this. Why? Because all the chlorophyll has been destroyed over here. They release out from the leaf. That is why the leaf look like this. Okay, now we will wash the leaf properly. Both of the leaf will be washed by us, okay, in proper way, and then we will dip this leaf into iodine solution. After dipping the leaf, one which was unwrapped, which was present in sunlight, is now looking blue black, whereas the one which was wrapped up inside the silver foil for a very long period of time is showing no change of color. So after comparing these two, we can easily say that yes, after photosynthesis, plant do form starch. Clear? Now activity number 2. Activity number 2 is to demonstrate the chlorophyll is necessary for photosynthesis. For activity 2, we need a potted plant, obviously, which is having this kind of leaf. Some of the portion of the leaf does not carry chlorophyll granule. Okay, that is why they are not green in color. This can be seen in croton plant. So we will need a croton plant, beaker, test tube, dropper, petri dish, paper, water, alcohol, and iodine solution. This is all we need. Okay, to perform this activity, we will take a potted plant of croton, okay, or coleus, which has variated leaf. Now keep it in sunlight for 4 to 5 hours. We have to keep it in sunlight for 4 to 5 hours so that the leaf can perform photosynthesis. Okay, after when the time is over, pluck the leaf out and sketch it accordingly. Okay, the green part of the leaf and white part of the leaf should be marked properly. Understand? And then carry out the test for iodine test. Okay, what we are going to do, we will first dip this leaf into boiled water for a minute and then to kill the cell, obviously to kill the cell, an enzyme, and then we will put into a test tube which is containing ethyl alcohol, and then we will provide a water bath by putting this test tube in a beaker which is carrying water. Okay, next we will let the alcohol get boiled. You can see the alcohol is over here boiling, but not the weaker water, right? The heat is provided from the stove to the beaker, from the bigger beaker to the water, then the test tube, and then the alcohol started to boil, and the leaf in by boiling the leaf will lose their chlorophyll. Then later on we have to dip this leaf into iodine solution. Okay, now this is the result, and this is the leaf that we have broken. The leaf before alcohol bleaching and the leaf after alcohol bleaching. Understood? See the difference. The greenish part of the above leaf is now has turned into blue black, whereas the white part does not show any color change. Understood? This is all about activity number 2. Next is activity number 3, that is to demonstrate that sunlight is necessary for photosynthesis. For this activity we need a potted plant, a clip, black piece of chart paper, iodine solution. Okay, now we will take a healthy plant. We will take a healthy potted plant, and then we will keep it in a dark place for a weekday. Okay, we will place this potted plant into a dark corner, a dark room for a week. Then later on, when the plant is still in the dark corner, we will put this black chart paper on any of the healthy leaf. Okay, and with the help of this paper clip we will attach it properly, and then we will keep this plant out in the sunlight for 4 to 5 hours. Okay, after putting the black paper, after fixing this black paper on any of the leaf, we have to place this plant into the sunlight so that it can perform photosynthesis. Okay, after 4 to 5 hours, what we are in need to do, see over here, it is kept in the sunlight. After 4 to 5 hours, we will plug the leaf out, and then we will remove this black paper from the leaf, and then we will put this leaf into boiled water for a minute, and then we will provide it with water bath. See over here, it is provided inside the test tube. Okay, inside the test tube, ethyl alcohol is present in which the leaf has been kept, and outside of the test tube a beaker is present which is carrying the water, and the flame is provided over there, heat is provided over there. Okay, after water bath, the chlorophyll get destroyed from the leaf. Okay, and then we will add this iodine solution on this leaf. What will be the result? The result will be like this. The portion of the leaf which was covered with the black chart paper does not show change of color. This is still brown in color. The reason is it was covered by the black chart paper. If it was covered by the black chart paper, they do not receive the sunlight. If they do not receive the sunlight, the cells present in the area was unable to perform photosynthesis. Because of this area lacks starch. Understood? So when we are performing the iodine test, this area show negative result. So after performing this experiment, we can say that yes, sunlight is also a very important component to perform photosynthesis. Okay class. Now next is activity number 4. The activity number 4 is showing that carbon dioxide is also a very necessary component of the photosynthesis. About this we will study in our next video. Until then, have a nice day everyone.